Morning students, welcome to All Fours e-learning classes. Today in economics we are going to see the same unit 2 whichever we left yesterday uncompleted or incomplete, that we are going to cover now. Yesterday we have seen what is utility. I am giving a recap. What is utility? The satisfaction which we derive from the commodities is utility. What are cardinal utility and what is ordinal utility? Cardinal utility is that which can be measured, the utility which can be measured with the numbers of cardinal numbers. There the advantage is we can measure as well as we compare. Ordinal utility. If we use ordinal number to compare the utility, then that utility is called as ordinal utility. Then we have seen total utility. Total utility always depends on total of commodities. As the commodities increases, total utility increases, sometimes becomes constant, sometimes it becomes decreased. So total utility depends on the quantity of commodities. And the next one, fourth one, we have seen marginal utility, which you are supposed to understand much clearly. Marginal utility is depends on total utility. Like as the commodities are increasing, the difference between the total utilities, present one and previous one, will be called as marginal utility. That again we are going to discuss in detail. And yesterday we started law of diminishing marginal utility, which is being proposed by H. Gaussen. H. Gaussen. Remember H. Gaussen. He proposed two important laws for the economics. First one is law of diminishing marginal utility. Second one is equimarginal utility. So the first law of diminishing marginal utility, is also called as Gaussen's first law of consumer behavior. The first law of consumer behavior of Gaussen. So that one we are going to study today. And yesterday we have seen the definition in detail. The additional benefit which a person derives from a given increase of his stock of a thing diminishes with every increase in stock that he already has. Means, let us say the thing is mangoes. If you go on increasing the quantity of same mangoes, as the quantity of mangoes goes on increasing, the satisfaction is going to diminish, decrease. That is being told by Gaussen, but it is developed and properly presented by Alfred Marshall. Now the definition which I given you is from Alfred Marshall. We have seen in the first unit the second definition which is being given in 1890 by Alfred Marshall, that is welfare definition. According to him, Alfred Marshall, this law of diminishing marginal utility is simply in one sentence. Again I will repeat, the additional benefit which a person gets additional, marginal, from a given increase by increasing the quantity of his stock, whatever the stock he got, his stock of a thing that can be called as mangoes, of a thing diminishes. What diminishes? Marginal utility diminishes with every increase in the stock that is already he has. Already he has the mangoes. As the stock increases, satisfaction decreases, diminishes. So that's why this law is simply called as law of diminishing marginal utility. We are not saying total utility or something else. We are saying only marginal utility. Means what? Additional utility keeps decreasing. Now, I explained to you what is the definition. Yesterday, in the last class also we had a discussion. Now also we have seen. Okay? And yesterday itself I told you, keep a textbook and a notebook and pen handy, and which I am going to teach you, just keep writing. With that you will be 100% involving. While you are reading or watching through the textbook, whatever I am saying, then you can make a comparison. what I am teaching and what is in the textbook. That makes the things easier to remember. So your all senses supposed to be present in the class. Okay, now we are in a classroom. Forget the total world, we are in the classroom. Okay, now this is a very important topic in both the ways. In real life, knowledge wise, it's going to help you a lot. When you become an administrator or a manager or a salesman or a sales executive or a producer or an industrialist, whatever you become, this law is going to be applicable in day-to-day life. Even when you go to the vegetable market and purchasing the vegetables, you will observe this law in the vegetable market. This law is proposed by a vegetable vendor, the old woman who is selling the vegetables. She is applying this law on you. I'll make you to remember where, how. Okay, now let us go with the definition we just completed. Always the additional benefit goes on decreasing, the stock increases which you already has. Now just now I explained you the meaning. That is, in simple language, always if you have something in stock and the same stock, same one, its quantity goes on increasing, the benefit or marginal utility, the satisfaction keeps on decreasing. Now we will see the assumptions. Assumptions are that which are the foundation of the law. Whatever the laws you see in economics, all those laws are depends on the assumptions. Without these assumptions, laws doesn't have any consistency. And these assumptions will convert to limitations. How these assumptions have been made? Here I can give you a simple example. It's like the assumptions are made with the help of other economists. It's like as we start doing something, I want to propose a new law. When I want to propose the law, I have to discuss about the same law with contemporaries. Alfred Marshall, along with his followers and with his contemporaries, he was discussing the same law. That time, people may ask the doubts. Maybe this law can be failure if the situation is like this. Then those all situations turns to assumptions. For example, let us see the assumptions. Okay, as we see the assumptions, we will realize why these assumptions are the foundation of law. Okay, first one, let us see rationality. We assume that consumer is a rational person. A rational person means what? A person who thinks normally, rationally, who works for his own benefit. That is rationality. Okay, see, if the person is not rational, if he is a madman, idiot, stupid, without any knowledge, then this law is not applicable. So the assumption is consumer is a rational person. Next is cardinal utility. Here we use the measurement of cardinal numbers to measure utility. In the law of diminishing marginal utility, we use the cardinal numbers, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Yesterday we had a detailed discussion about that. So we use the cardinal numbers. Then only this law is successfully can be explained. Okay, next, independent utilities. In general, if you take something, it is with mixing of plenty of things. Like you take a cup of tea. Tea is not just tea. Tea is mixed with plenty of things. Sugar, tea powder. There are plenty of varieties of tea powders. You know, Gemini, Chakra, Three Roses, Rangu, Ruchi, Vasana. There are plenty. All those things put together, the tea made. It should be boiled properly. It should be mixed properly. Then you will get the good smell that encourages your streams about your interest in that cup of tea. So here, but we assume whatever the commodity we use, the utility is independent. In general, they are not independent, they are complementary. Plenty of things comes together and they make a cup of tea. But here the assumption is what? We use the commodities which utility is independent, not depending on anything else. But in general, everything depends on so many things. Even my lecture is depending on plenty of things. The light which is coming from there and the cell which is carrying you this class. Plenty of things it depends. But here what the assumption is? We assume utility of that commodity which we are consuming is independent, not depending on anything else. Okay, next, constant marginal utility of money. We assume marginal utility of money is constant, means does not change, the same level. Whether money increases or decreases, marginal utility is going to be same. But does it happens like that? When money is less, automatically marginal utility increases. Money is more, a little bit of marginal utility decreases, little bit, not more, little bit. See, but the assumption is money's marginal utility is constant, neither increases nor decreases. That is the assumption. Next, homogeneous goods. Only in the perfect competition we will find the homogeneous goods, but in real life we will find heterogeneous. They are different from each other. They are not the same. Even if you see the apples in a shop or in a fruit vendor, they are not all the same. If you go for mangoes, they are not of same size. If you go for a cake, they are not decorated in the same colors. See, but here assumption is what? All are homogeneous, means color, size, smell, everything should look alike. Like if you take Santur soap, how many ever soaps you remove the cover, they are of same size, they have the same brand, color, smell, everything. So that is called homogeneous. So here the assumption is what? The commodities which a consumer is going to use, they are homogeneous. Uniform in the size, they all should be in equal size, neither too big nor too small. If the commodities are too big, you don't go for the second one, then this law is not applicable. If they are too small a quantity, then also this law is not applicable. So they should be at a average size, reasonable size, then only this law is applicable. So they all should be uniform in size. I can explain you in so many ways. I have plenty of examples, but here the time is a problem. Okay, someday certainly we will discuss about this uniform of size. For example, you are in a desert, you are thirsty, you want water, you are almost at a collapsing point, and one of your friend did come there, or some other person did come there, and he started offering you a spoonful of water at a time, a spoonful of water at a time. Really, satisfaction goes on increasing. As you get more water into your mouth, the satisfaction goes on increasing, because he is giving only spoonful of water. If you calculate in glasses, one glass, second glass, third glass, fourth glass, fifth glass, your marginal utility starts decreasing, because first glass gives you more satisfaction than the fifth glass. Marginal utility decreases. But spoonfuls, certainly it is not applicable. That's why we say uniform size, a reasonable size. Next, no time gap or no time lag. If there is time gap, satisfaction goes on increasing. So there should not be any time gap. At a same period of time, all those commodities goes on increasing. Means one after another, that supposed to go on increasing. Then only you will get the marginal utility decreasing. So that's why it is a assumption. Divisible commodities. So commodity, if it is divisible into so many parts, that division should be in a reasonable size. It should not be too small divided or too big. They should be divisible commodity but at a uniform size. Next, no change in consumer behavior. This particularly given for the purpose of if consumer behavior changes. Yes, generally it changes. It is not constant. But here we believe there should not be any change in the consumer's behavior. See, a cotton t-shirt is very comfortable in summer, not in winter. In winter, a colorful sweater is more comfortable than a simple cotton thin t-shirt. If you wear a simple thin cotton t-shirt, you will get cold in the winter. See, as the season changes, consumer wants also changes. But here we believe no change in the consumer behavior, like his income should not change, his behavior should not change, his preferences should not change, his habits should not change. Then only this law is applicable. So these are all the assumptions on which this law of diminishing marginal utility is going to stand. Now this is the last one, full knowledge of market. The assumption is the consumer have full knowledge of total market. Then only this law of diminishing marginal utility can be applicable. Now we will see with the help of this table how this law of diminishing marginal utility is going to help us to understand the law. This is being proposed by whom? Actually devised by H.H. Gaussen, but developed and explained by whom? Alfred Marshall. According to him, total utility depends on the quantity. TUX is equal to F of QX. Total utility always depends on the quantity. As the quantity increases, total utility increases, becomes constant and even decreases. But marginal utility depends on present one minus previous one. Marginal utility of n commodity is equal to TUN by TUN minus 1. Means marginal utility of n commodity depends on present total utility present minus total utility previous. Now we are going to see these two laws going to be applied here. So first, let us say you yourself, you have been given with a mango. That X commodity can be anything. Let us assume, anyway we have just crossed the summer. So let us see, it is a mango. If you have been given first one mango, you will get the total utility of 40. See, we are using the cardinal numbers, not ordinal. We are not saying 40th, we are saying 40 utils. One commodity gives you 40 utils. See, how do you get the marginal utility? TUN, present one, minus previous one. Do we have any previous one? Nothing. So 40 minus 0. Previous is 0. You get 40 utils of marginal utility. MUN is equal to TUN minus 1. Present, previous. Present is 40, previous is 0. So automatically the marginal utility is how much? 40. Now let us go to the second mango. At the same time, as you completed your first mango, immediately they give you second mango. Eat now without any time gap, same taste, same size, everything is as it is, color, everything, and they force you to eat at the same time. Okay, you had that second mango. Now total utility depends on total quantity. Now how many mangoes? 2 mangoes. Out of 2 mangoes, you are going to get the satisfaction total 70. Quantity increased, total utility increased. See, 70. Now, how do we get? Present one minus previous one. Present one how much? 70. What is the previous one? This one? No, previous one is this. TUN minus 1. 70 minus 40, it is 30. How much marginal utility you are going to get? 30. This is the counting of marginal utility. Got it? First 40 minus 0, 40. 70 minus 40, 30. Now we will see the third one. You completed your second mango. Before you clean your hands and clean your mouth, third mango is being given to you. But here you can watch, marginal utility actually decreased. What this law says? Diminishing marginal utility. Already your marginal utility is decreasing. Third one, without time gap, you have to eat. You eat and eat. Total utility depending on quantity. 3 mangoes given you 90 utils of satisfaction. 90 utils of satisfaction. How do you get the third mango's marginal utility? Present one, previous one. 90 minus 70. Present one, 90. Previous one, 70. How much marginal utility got? 20. Diminishing. The marginal utility is diminishing. But see, the total utility is increasing depending on the quantity of commodities. Now, as you completed your third mango, before you wash your hands, again fourth mango is being put into your hands. And they force you to eat the fourth one also. Even though you like that one, still your satisfaction is going to decrease. What? Additional satisfaction is going to decrease. You got 100 utils of satisfaction out of 4 mangoes. Not from fourth mango. It is out of 4 mangoes. You got 100 utils of satisfaction. This is total. Quantity is how many? Yes, quantity is 4. Total utility is how much? 100. How do we get the marginal utility? Present one minus previous one. What is the present one? 100. What is the previous one? 90. 100 minus 90? 10. See the marginal utility continuously decreasing. Law of decreasing additional satisfaction. Law of diminishing marginal utility. Decreasing satisfaction. Okay, as you just completed the fourth mango, they force you to eat the fifth one immediately along with its cover. You are not eating mango only internal part, even the cover also you are eating. So the fifth one is also put into your hand and force you to eat. Now your satisfaction is not going to increase anymore because already you got bored. You don't want to eat, but you eaten that one also forcefully, so you didn't get any satisfaction. See here, there is no additional satisfaction. You got same level, means it has become constant. Till here it was increasing, here it becomes constant. Here you can see present one is 100, previous one is 100 again. 100 minus 100, 0. So the marginal utility becomes 0. And you don't want to eat. But as you completed the fifth mango, they put a sixth mango in your hand to eat. Already you are bored with these mangoes. At first you are very happy. Second one, a little bit less. But still you are enjoying. Third one, okay. Fourth one, please, I don't want. Fourth one, you said, enough, please, I don't want any more. But they forcefully made you to eat the fifth one. You will say, I'm feeling like a little bit vomiting sensation. But still they force you to, that's why you didn't get any additional marginal utility, additional satisfaction. So the additional satisfaction continuously decreasing. Any doubts? Do you get any? If the sixth mango also forced into your hand to eat, now here you want to escape because already you are feeling a tingling feeling in your stomach that the mango is wanted to come out. That's why you got only the satisfaction of 90. It started decreasing. Total utility increases, becomes constant and decreases depending on the quantity. But see, how do you get the marginal utility? Total utility of present, total utility of previous. What is the present? 90. What is the previous? 100. 90 minus 100. What it is? Marginal utility becomes minus 10. So in the total story, one thing we can observe, all the time marginal utility is decreasing. At the time of total utility increasing, become constant, decreasing. In the every situation marginal utility is decreasing. Here let us see. You can see in the textbook those 3 points under the table. First, total utility increases. Even at the time of total utility increasing, marginal utility is diminishing. Second point, total utility becomes constant. At that time also, marginal utility become decreasing. At fifth mango, total utility did not change and marginal utility become 0. And the 6th mango, total utility started decreasing and marginal utility becomes minus 10. What it is? Minus 10. Here, let me explain you the graph. If we put this table as it is on this graph, what results we are going to get? Now we will see. For the first mango, the satisfaction was how much? 40. For the second mango, it was 70, in between 60 and 80. With third mango, the satisfaction is 90, in between 80 and 90. With fourth mango, it is 100. With fifth mango, constant again 100. With sixth mango, it started decreasing. It come to 90 again. Let us put a different color to this one. So, this is the total utility. Total utility first increased, become constant and decreased. Total utility first increased, become constant and decreased. Here in this graph, on x-axis, we are showing quantity of goods. First mango, second mango, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. See the quantity of goods, mangoes we have shown. And on this y-axis, what we are showing? Utilities. Total utility as well as marginal utility, both. So first we have shown total utility. Total utility with first mango is 40. Second mango is how much? 70. Next third mango 90. Fourth 100. Fifth 100. And with sixth 90. Total utility increased, constant and decreased. Now we will see the marginal utility. For that we will use a different chalk. See. Visible, right? Visibility is good now? First mango 40, second mango 30, third mango 20, fourth mango 10, fifth mango 0, sixth minus 10. Now let us make a curve. This is marginal utility. With this you can understand the relation where total utility become maximum, marginal utility become 0. Do you get the exact idea? What is happening? When total utility is increasing, marginal utility is decreasing. But at a point where total utility become maximum, it cannot increase more than this, maximum, there marginal utility becomes 0. See here, marginal utility become 0. Total utility become 100 and after that it started decreasing, which can be shown with the relation of this marginal utility and total utility with this graph. Okay, tomorrow in the next class we will discuss about the importance of this law and we will also discuss the limitations of this law. Before I close this, I want to remind you what is the importance of this law again. Okay, first we are discussing in the second unit of economics, law of diminishing marginal utility. First we had a discussion about definition. Next we have seen the meaning. Next we have seen the assumptions. Those assumptions are rationality of consumer and we are going to use cardinal utility method in measurement of diminishing marginal utility. Next, the utility of commodities is independent, constant marginal utility of money. Money's marginal utility neither increase nor decrease. That is an assumption. Actually, it won't happen like that, but it is an assumption. Homogeneous goods, all the commodities are same, and uniform size, color, everything is going to be the same, like a mirror image. Next, no time log. The consumer who is using the commodities should not have any time log. Like you are eating all the mangoes at a time. without any time gap. That's why the satisfaction decreased. If I tell you to eat one in morning, one in afternoon, one in evening, it won't happen like that. Your marginal utility is going to be high. But here I am forcing you to eat all the mangoes at a time. That's why your marginal utility decreased. So uniform in size, no time log, and commodities are divisible to a proper size, and no change in income and behavior of consumer. There should not be any change in the consumer behavior. Last one, full knowledge of market. Here we will see unit X, we call it mango. As you go on consuming that mangoes, first you consumed 1, you got 40 utils of total utility, and marginal utility is also 40. Second mango gave you 70, not actually second mango. Both the mangoes 1 and 2 gave you the satisfaction of 70. 70 minus 40, present one minus previous one, you got the 30 utils of marginal utility. And when you consume third one, out of 3 mangoes, you got 90 utils of satisfaction. And how do you get the marginal utility? 90 minus 70, present minus previous, you got 20 utils of marginal utility. And next, you consumed fourth one. Out of 4 units, you got 100 utils of satisfaction. 100 minus 90, your marginal utility is 10. When you consume the fifth mango, out of total 5 mangoes, you got 100 utils of satisfaction. How do you get the marginal utility? Present one minus previous one, 100 minus 100, 0. And the sixth mango, or total 6 mangoes put together gave you 90 satisfaction. So 90 minus 100 gives you minus 10. That is, when total utility is increasing, marginal utility is decreasing. When total utility become constant, marginal utility kept decreasing. When total utility decreasing, marginal utility becomes negative. Okay, here in the graph we have seen on the x-axis we put the quantity of good X or X goods. On y-axis we are showing 0 to 100 utils and 0 to minus 10 utils, and on the y-axis we are showing total utility and marginal utility. Okay, with this we can observe when one mango is consumed, total utility is 40, second mango 70, third mango 90, fourth mango 100, fifth mango 100, sixth mango 90. So that's why total utility increased, become constant, and decreased. Marginal utility, in contrary, all the time kept decreasing. First 10, 40, 30, 20, 10 and 0 and minus 10. So all the time diminishing marginal utility is going on, diminishing or decreasing. That's why this law is called as law of diminishing marginal utility. In the next class, we will discuss the importance and limitations of law of diminishing marginal utility. Okay.